Welcome. You're listening to The Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into some sources that really tap into the chilling, the unexplained. We're looking at personal accounts, actually excerpts from a YouTube transcript. It's called 3 Chilling True Blizzard Stories, Volume 2 by Mr. Nightmare. So our mission basically for this deep dive is to unpack these pretty unnerving stories. We want to pull out the surprising bits, the psychological stuff that makes them stick with you. It's fascinating, really, how these unexpected moments can turn something totally ordinary into pure terror, especially when, nature itself is part of the threat. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, and what's really striking, even though the stories are different, is how they all use that intense isolation of a blizzard. It just ramps up the feeling of dread, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But we'll be looking at, not just the events, but the questions they raise. Vulnerability, that thin line between feeling safe and being in real danger.
Okay, so first up, we go back almost 10 years. The Adirondack Mountains. The narrator, he's on a hiking and skiing trip, rented an Airbnb cabin, nice spot, secluded, private woods. Then the news hits, big blizzard coming in. So Friday morning, he wakes up, there's a knock at the door, he looks outside, it's just white, blinding snow. There's this woman, maybe 40s, looks distressed, wearing a parka, cheeks all red from the cold. She asks if she can come in, take shelter. And he thinks, it's the right thing to do, the gentlemanly thing. So he lets her in, offers her coffee. She just kind of slumps onto the couch, says no to the coffee, asks if she can just rest. It says her name's Meredith. She got caught in the storm too, rented another Airbnb nearby. Classic setup, right?
It really is. And you immediately think about that trust, don't you? How quickly we offer help in these extreme situations. That instinct to help can sometimes override our usual caution. The situation itself sort of forces this trust.
Right. And then, not long after Meredith's there, another knock. Deja vu, almost. This time, it's a man. Gives the exact same story. Caught in the blizzard, needs shelter desperately. So the narrator feels, obligated again. Lets him in, too. The guy introduces himself as Mark. Then Meredith and Mark introduce themselves to each other. They even sort of laugh about being in the same situation, thanking the narrator for being so kind. And Meredith seems a bit more lively now, more talkative. The dynamic shifts a little. Yeah. So the day just drags on. It gets dark, colder, snow's not stopping. Narrator offers them some food and then starts thinking, okay, sleeping arrangements, what do we do? But Meredith actually asks first, says, hey, can Mark and I stay the night? He feels like he can't really say no, given everything. So, yeah, okay. They take the couches. He goes back to his room. Feels a bit better knowing his important stuff, his belongings are tucked under the bed, safe from these, strangers. But this is where it gets really unsettling. He's usually a really heavy sleeper, but he wakes up, loud thump, and his bedroom door, it's open. He hears the wind howling like crazy from outside. Then he sees the cabin's front door is open too. And Meredith and Mark, gone. Not on the couches.
And that's a real shift, isn't it? The open doors, the empty space. It immediately suggests a boundary has been crossed. It's not just people leaving. It feels like an intrusion. That bedroom door being open is particularly chilling. He didn't leave it open.
Exactly. So he goes out onto the porch, looks into the woods. It's still snowing like mad, sees fresh footprints in the snow, and then he sees her, Meredith, standing out there, facing him, holding something that looks like his travel bag. He yells at her, runs back inside quick to get his boots, but as he's scrambling to put them on, he notices his bedroom door. It's shut now. And he is absolutely 100% certain he did not close that door.
Okay, right there. That detail changes everything. The closing door, the footprints. It strongly implies, like you said, he wasn't just dealing with 2 people. There was someone else unseen. It moves beyond a simple robbery attempt into something, deeply invasive and way more sinister, that unknown element inside his space.
Totally. So he runs back to the porch. Meredith's still there, but she's not alone now. There's a man next to her. He couldn't be sure if it was Mark holding her hand. Both of them just standing there, facing the house. At that point, forget the bag. He just runs for his Jeep, manages to drive through 3 feet of snow just to get away. And his final thought on it all is just chilling. He's convinced there had to be more people there. Someone else was in his bedroom. Feels like he was just too nice, let his guard down completely. And he's just thankful they didn't kill him. He got this really strong vibe they were after, more than just his bag.
A truly terrifying encounter. That feeling of violation is intense.
Yeah. Okay, let's shift to the second story. This one's different. It's from childhood. The narrator and his older brother, they loved playing in the snow. Woods near their house, Standard kid stuff. One night, blizzard conditions again, but their parents actually let them play outside, weirdly enough. They decide hide and seek would be fun, with the footprints making it interesting. So the narrator hides first. They've got flashlights. Head into the woods. He turns his light off, ducks down in a big snowdrift between two trees, tries to cover his tracks, sees his brother's flashlight beam getting closer, so he runs deeper into the woods. Thinks he's lost him for sure. He knew the woods really well, wasn't worried about getting lost himself. But then, this is where it turns. He's walking along, and he finds another set of footprints. Looks super fresh, like minutes old. He starts following them, thinks maybe it's a deer or something. But as they get clearer, he sees, nope, these are boot prints. Human boot prints, which means he's catching up to whoever made them.
Right, that sense of mundane curiosity shifting into something else.
Exactly. His first thought is, maybe it's his brother messing with him. But his own light is on, and he spots something dark sticking out of a snow pile right next to the tracks. He stops, looks closer, brushes some snow off it. It's a big black garbage bag. And it just feels wrong. There's this awful smell coming from it. He's hoping maybe just trash somebody dumped, tries to find the opening, can't find it, so he just tears it open with his fingernails. The smell hits him full force. He starts gagging, coughing uncontrollably. Inside, it's a decomposing human body.
Wow. I mean, for a child to stumble on that, it's the absolute shattering of innocence, isn't it? That sudden violent intrusion of real horror into playtime. The smell, the visual, the physical reaction, it's profoundly traumatic. Takes a safe space and just turns it gruesome.
Totally. Yeah. And his coughing, it gives him away. Suddenly, his brother's flashlight beam hits him. He turns, light in his eyes, just frantically waves for his brother to run. Brother's confused, keeps walking closer. So the narrator runs to him, whispers, "Turn off your light, turn it off." Points to the bag, tells him what's inside. The older brother, naturally, doesn't believe him at first, but he sees the look on his face, goes over, sees it for himself, just puts his hand over his mouth. Shock. Then the older brother kicks in, takes charge, grabs the narrator, starts pulling him back towards the house, trying to be quiet.
Instinct takes over.
Yeah.
Get away.
Yeah. But as they're moving, they keep looking back. They think they hear footsteps in the snow behind them. Crunching. Seems like it's getting faster every time they speed up. His brother has to keep the flashlight on, though. It's pitch black. Then, they both hear another clear footstep. They spin around at the same time, maybe 50 feet away, right there in the flashlight beam. Someone is just standing there, watching them. That's it. They just run. Flat out sprint all the way home. The person yelled something after them, but they couldn't understand it. Too much noise, blizzard, hearts pounding.
It's not just the discovery, which is horrific enough, but that immediate terror of being seen, pursued, realizing you're not just a witness, but maybe now you're a target, especially as kids. That sticks with you. It completely changes your view of the world, makes it feel dangerous. The trauma is immense.
Absolutely. They make it home, 2 minutes later, burst in, tell their parents. Parents call the police, obviously. Search team goes out, uses their description of where it was, but they never found the body. The narrator says he still wonders, did they just barely escape? He's pretty sure whoever was out there moved the body right after they saw the boys. 2 witnesses.
Chilling. The idea that the person was right there.
Yeah. Okay, third story. Final one. This starts on the night of the first big snowstorm of the year. Narrator's just chilling in bed, watching a movie, drinking hot cocoa, cozy night in, then wham! Something hits his window, nearly jumps out of his skin, looks out, sees a fresh snowball mark, opens the window, hears a kid laughing outside. Okay, mystery solved. Annoying, but solved. Then a little later, POW. Another snowball hits the window. More kid laughter. This time he just ignores it, figures, react, and they'll just keep doing it. And it seems to work. No more snowballs that night.
Rational response.
Yeah.
Don't feed the trolls, basically.
Right. But the next night happens again. He's asleep this time. Wakes up to a much louder bang, really hard. Ferocious, he says. Opens the window again. It's not snowing now, hard to see far out, but he hears it again. That kid's laugh. A boy's laugh. Sounds like maybe a 10-year-old. He yells something out, get out of here. Not a serious threat, just yelling. Again, it stops for the night after that. Next day, a lot of the snow's melted, but the ground's still covered. That night, he turns off his light, but he lies awake. He's kind of expecting it now, dreading it. And yep, like clockwork, bang. Goddamn kid, he thinks. He's back. But this time, the narrator's ready. Jumps out of bed, runs straight to the window, and for just half a second, he sees the back of a kid running away into the dark. So he throws on shoes, coat, runs outside after him. Gonna catch this kid. Finds the footprints right below his window where they started, follows them. They lead him down this long grassy field towards a road. The footprints keep going right up to a big sycamore tree by the road, and then they just stop. right at the tree, and wrapped around the tree these two white flower bands. There's a wooden cross planted in the ground in front of it. It's clearly, roadside memorial. Fatal car crash.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a turn. That's where it shifts, isn't it? From just an annoying kid to something deeply unsettling. The footprints physically stopping at the memorial site. That breaks logic. Was it a real kid or... That ambiguity is where the dread comes in. It becomes uncanny.
Totally uncanny. He checks again, double checks, triple checks. The footprints absolutely stop right there. No question. He walks home, pretty disturbed, obviously. Goes to bed, but yeah, hard to sleep. The next day, he can't shake it. Does a bit of digging, asks around locally, discreetly. Finds out, yeah, a mother and her son died in a car crash right there, hit that exact tree. He says he got goosebumps just hearing it. And he couldn't bring himself to ask how old the son was. He was terrified it would be around 10. That would just haunt him even more.
Yeah, the confirmation of the tragedy tied to the location makes the earlier events feel completely different.
Right. And the next night, he thinks he hears a kid laughing outside again. But he admits, maybe it was just his imagination running wild at that point after everything he found out. The whole thing messed him up so much he had to take sleeping pills for a solid month, just so he wouldn't lie awake, terrified all night.
And that connects back to what we see sometimes, the psychological impact of the uncertainty. Yeah. Was it real? Was it grief manifesting? Was it something else? Not knowing for sure, that ambiguity can sometimes be even more potent, more disturbing than a clear-cut supernatural event. It makes you question your own reality.
Definitely. So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? I mean, these stories, these deep dives, they really show how quickly the familiar, the safe, can just flip into terror, especially when things like a blizzard isolate you. You go from someone needing shelter to a kid's game to even just snowballs. And suddenly it's grim or ghostly or deeply threatening, highlights how vulnerable we are to the unexpected,
Yeah, and what's fascinating is that thread running through them. Trust, curiosity, that human need to find answers. Each person sort of pushed past their initial fear or discomfort, didn't they? Only to find something really unsettling that stuck with them long after, challenged their whole sense of what's real or safe.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? Sometimes the encounters that chill us the most aren't just about what we actually see, it's about what we don't see, or what we just can't explain away. So for you listening, here's something to think about. How solid is your own sense of safety, really? How quickly could it crumble if something truly unexpected showed up, especially when you feel cut off, like in a storm? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.